Hey everyone, what's going on? Joey Contino here, and I just uploaded a sunrise video just the other day, and I've had so many questions. How do you edit your videos? Where do you come with the music? How is this done? Blah, 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 blah. So I figured let's kind of do like a step-by-step to give you an idea of how I do it. I'm very low-tech when it comes to this stuff, in the sense of editing my drone videos. My historical videos is done through Premiere, a couple of the crazy things, voiceovers and all that. But for this, it's actually a lot more streamlined, mostly because I've been doing this for so long. I've been flying drones for 10 years before you even had cameras on them or GPS or had any way to keep an eye on where a drone is. And now obviously you can pre-program everything to run the same shot every single day to do time lapses. It's absolutely insane. That being said, I figured we did a drone video not too long ago. I have the footage here, and you probably already saw the video air. At this time of recording, it hasn't been uploaded yet. I haven't finished editing yet. Haven't even started on it. And so let's go step by step. Before we get started, make sure you subscribe, you turn on notifications, and you give this video a thumbs up. So when it comes to any kind of drone video, it all starts with the footage. And you'll see I had filmed this one on July 2nd. Yeah, sometimes I film things in advance. It all depends on what my schedule is. I film during the summertime roughly about 5 sunrises in which I take a ton of photos and I use those photos for my sunrise days, depending on what they are. If I can't maybe make it to a beach, or maybe someone didn't provide me a photo for that day, because we do have people who send us photos to upload, I'll take things from this kind of archive. When it comes to a flight, the drone batteries are about 32 minutes. I'll probably go through about an hour of footage. Probably about 15 minutes before the sunrise, about 30 minutes of the sunrise, and then 15 minutes afterwards of just like random shots to grab or something new to try, whether it's flying over a coaster or maybe going down the boardwalk or down the beach or kind of crazy shots. I'm one of the very few people who actually enjoy flying over the ocean, so I kind of go ahead and move along with that. All that said, you'll notice there is at least, 5-6 gigabytes? Actually, I could tell you how many is actually on here. Get info, it's so 6.6 gigabytes of data. I would bring them first into iMovie, and you're probably saying, iMovie? Yeah. I really don't do much color correction. The sensor that it's on the DJI Air 2, which is probably a drone I have to retire soon. I get new drones every 2 years because of fatigue. I fly hours and hours and hours every single month that it gets to the point to where it's like, you don't want anything bad to happen to it. When it comes to the service log, you write down all that stuff, and it's like, once it gets older and older and you start doing those many hours, you do several hundred hours on a drone, it's like, all right, you gotta get a new one. So I'll pull them all really into iMovie, sometimes Premiere, depending on what it is. And this stuff is all raw. There's no correction. Some shots are just a drone sitting there. So I have to go through and edit them all down to where, because I usually hit record and then I start slowly moving in the direction. Or sometimes to get a good lock on something, I'll start moving the drone a bit. And then once I get it locked, I'll then finally, this is the shot. So I have to edit that down. So right now I got this down to 10 minutes. When it should have been probably about 35. Because even though I'm flying for about an hour, I don't record every single second of it. You're shooting in 4K or 2.8K, depending on what you're doing. And if you're going for too long, then let me tell you, that's going to be way too much for you to edit. I mean, you saw here, 30-something minutes of footage is about 6.61 gigabytes. That's a lot. So, that being said, once you get your footage kind of lined up, like this one's kind of sitting here in the beginning, and now I have to kind of, re-edit it so it's actually flowing better. You'll see that one's, so I went down, so I want to get rid of that, make it nice and even. So I'll give you the best of the best. And like you even see in here, you can see at what point it kind of finally locks in. Like right about there. So I have to tighten this down even more than what I had before. And of course, this is just the beginning of the editing phase. I will go through here and most likely edit it down even more, because when I pick my music, I'm going to pick something that's going to have a lot of downbeats that creates like that perfect reason to cut. See how that one sits there? I'm hoping this makes sense. I mean, a lot of it has to do with just making sure you get the right shot. You know, if you've got good shots, then you can kind of edit any way you want. I kind of tilt down a little bit halfway through. It is what it is. This is going back this way. And some of these shots I probably won't even use. Now, ideally, I would love to have a drone video almost 8 minutes every time. But it's kind of hard to keep people's attention, which is why it's super important to have a very good song. Because if it's boring, you know, if it's too slow, it's not going to be ideal. And you'll lose people. Like this shot's like a double shot. I think I already even filmed one like that. This one's a pretty shot here. I did it again for some reason. I didn't like the first one. This shot will probably not be used. I think I already have one like that. This is cool because it looks like the sun is dancing on the water. Probably won't use that one. I don't really like throwing any footage away until I like really go through it all. And you'll see, I mean, ideally this song, or at least this video, will probably hit 4 minutes. I did one going to the east, one west and one east to see which one I like better. I think I like going the other way. A lot of it is just judging. This is a cool shot. I wanted the sun to look like it's like going across the screen. So I pretty much tagged in myself to stick on a certain wave to continue with it. There are different ways you could edit videos, by the way. A lot of them you could do them in app, you could do them in Premiere. I just picked iMovie because it's super easy to use. Like I already have this shot, I think. I think I imported too many of the same shots because here it is again. So once I finally get in order, and you could tell it's in order in a sense of how I filmed them, I then need to kind of put them in a way that I think tells a story, because these drone videos are more than just random shots of the ocean, the sun, and things around it. It's supposed to tell a story. There needs to be an intro. The intro for this is you're cruising into the ocean. You know, you're going over the coasters. And like this one's out of order. I got to move this one out. Same with this one too. So I want to make sure that that is conveyed in these. I could swear some of these seem like I'm just reusing shots. I have to go through here and make sure we don't have any of the same shots. But so I need to find a good ending, you know, find something that kind of is one of those like goodbye kind of like long drawn out, maybe throw some sounds of the ocean in there. Probably maybe that one would be a good one here. Because it's coming forward, that's going side to side, and you want it to be at least 15 seconds. Like this actually might be the shot. I mean, this actually probably is the shot here because it's nice and slow, and then I could fade it down. So you see there, we went from what, 9 something down to 6:47. More than likely, that's going to be down to about like 3 to 4 minutes. You want to keep people's attention, so that'll get cut down a lot depending on what song we have. And now I already picked a song. I like to find songs with good emotion, which is what this song is. It's not a lot of emotion, but it's also upbeat at the same time, so that kind of works for me. Problem is, it's 2 minutes and 30 seconds, which is a little bit shorter than I like. You know, aiming for a 3:30 to 4, so I'll have to edit this song down, and I'm doing this in Pro Tools. And you're just waiting for like a good like hook that you can tie it together and loop it. That's it, to me, a downbeat there. See that there too? That gives me 30 seconds. If I wanted to loop that, I could. Or what I'll do is take this and loop it again back here. Might make it too long though. Ding. See how it ends like that? We're gonna get rid of that and make it, and sync this together better. Okay, and that gets me to 3:53. I think I can live with that. So I'm done editing that. I edited that actually fairly quickly. If you notice, they pan this song really weirdly. Really using those channels. And I like songs like that because I know this is going to sound weird because I don't know many people who actually do this, but I'm an audio producer, and so I like things that pan in your ears, which is why sometimes you'll hear waves coming through the left one while something else is on the right. It's called sound design. And I went to school to study that stuff. And so when you watch my videos, many people don't realize, like even with my iPhone, I make sure everything's split. This microphone or coming thing actually could be split because I have it on audio interface. If you had headphones in, you would know that it surrounds you, the way that the audio is kind of built up, except for my voiceovers or audio, which I'm just using like the regular microphones and things like that. That being said, I like this now. We're going to export this out. Cancel. Gonna put this on a desktop and just get Wildwood drone video. And now it's really just a matter of plopping the song in and hitting things on the downbeat. I love hitting everything on the downbeat. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Which is why you'll see a lot of clips from mine, 4 seconds or 8 seconds, depending on the RPMs for the song. I think this is 70 RPM. I could be wrong. I would have to double check. That being said, it's fast enough to make it not feel like it's laggy, but it's also slow enough to make it feel like it's, not bad. So here it is where we're at. I pulled it in. I like this is kind of cool because you kind of have the, you get the seagull flying underneath, but the song's not starting on the downbeat, so now I need to just pull this back a little bit. I'll pull it up here. See how cool that is? It's kind of building up, and then for the first big downbeat, I'll cut it. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Boom. So to me, that would be the next one. And now there, you can hit in the downbeat or the pickup. So you can either go boom, or you could go for the second one. I might go for the second one. Yeah. Kind of does like a reveal. And then that looks neat, and it's building up. Okay, so we have it. Kind of want to do the second again. It's a little late. But as you can see what I'm doing here to get it synced up to what I like it to be, my wife will say that this is probably one of the most annoying things that she has to deal with, because for this 3-minute long song and this potentially 4-minute long video, it will just be me constantly like slapping it like, all right, boom, all right, boom, all right, boom. And then when I have it lined up, I'll then go back and make sure every single one of them is lined up perfectly enough so that it actually hits the downbeat or the upbeat. That way it looks good, it sounds good. And in the case of this, it's going to look good just because I used a really good filter. And by filter, I mean an actual physical filter that you put on the drone camera, which cuts out a lot of the noise on the beach. Noise, I'm talking to like the blurriness and that, and brings up more color. And so I always suggest people to use certain kinds of things, especially when you're dealing with sunlight. And this is one of those where like, yeah, sunlight's definitely needed. So I'll edit this down. So it'll take about an hour. It takes an hour to film the thing, and that's just physically standing there filming. Then it does, back and forth and travels another hour to edit it. I already picked the music out and kind of pulled it all in, so that saved us about 40 minutes here. Then I'll edit this for about 35 to 45 minutes, make sure the audio sounds good, make sure it's going to export. I'll export it in 4K, then I'll upload that onto YouTube. I'll create a beautiful photo for what it should be for the preview, which I think might be the roller coaster, what I'm looking at right now actually is like really neat. I think I have a photo of that. And that's the other thing. I'm starting to learn as I do more and more of these. I need to take more just regular photos from the drone because you get cool photos like this. You just got to figure out which one looks good enough. That's a cool one. You can see when it's different settings. Actually, that's pretty neat. So it's just playing around with it until you finally get it right. That being said, I'm going to do one of those kind of like Speedy Gonzalez's so you can see how I edit it with some music underneath of it, just so you have a good understanding of what I'm doing here, because I'm already at like 16 minutes. So let me go ahead and just kind of fast forward it for you so you can watch the editing. So there you guys go. You got to see the editing aspect of it. And I would say it turned out pretty well. I wanted to hit maybe at like 3:30. When you look at the song ends at 3:27. So that kind of works out. I changed the audio a little bit to kind of make a better ending. And I wanted to keep that end shot as long as possible. It's 23 seconds. I don't like long shots except for the intro or the outro. So I kept that in there. And there you go. You are all set. That is the drone video. And like I said before, you can watch that drone video because I think it aired the week before this. I like to schedule my videos at least 2 weeks in advance so that way I know exactly what's going on. Plus, depending on the circumstance, I may not be in the country when I need the videos to go online. So I have to edit them very far in advance, which is kind of what had happened here. To give you an idea of, sometimes I do travel and I don't really usually put out announcements. That if you watched our Ukrainian video, me be going to Cape May for Ukraine, or Cape May shelters Lutsk, you would know that we are going to Ukraine. So by the time this airs, which is going to be, because I have everything timed out, let me open up my schedule here. I believe that is, a sunrise is October 5th. How I edit my video is October 9th, and that means I'm coming home in 2 days. So I've been in Ukraine for 3 weeks. And yeah, it's a war, and there's a lot of stuff going on, and I'm documenting a lot of things, and those things will be coming together as a different video on my other channels, and I've got a lot of stuff on TikTok that's going online as well. But it just shows you how I film out my videos, and I can even tell you this far in advance what the next videos are going to be. One is Oktoberfest at Maurice Piers, Fall in Cape May. I always joke because to me, South Jersey's Stars Hollow, if you follow Gilmore Girls, is Cape May, or Haddonfield, depending how you look at it. And so I already have things that I'm going to be filming. We're going to go to Spirit of Halloween, their flagship store in Egg Harbor, and probably go to Cold Spring Village because they do a Halloween thing there. And there's so many cool things. I laugh because sometimes we do 2 videos a week, and sometimes I wish that we could do like 3 or 4, but there's just too much content, too many things going on. Keep in mind, I've got 3 YouTube channels, 2 Instagrams. We've got a big TikTok channel. So there's a lot of things that I have to do, plus manage my regular nighttime job. So yeah, that being said, now you have a behind the scenes look of how I edit my videos. And yeah, I know it's a long video, I apologize, but now you know. It takes a lot of time. It takes several hours for a 3-minute long video. You probably think, it took them an hour filming, and then obviously transportation, and importing everything takes 20 minutes. And then, now I have to export that video, which in 4K could take a while. And even as me, this could take 3 to 4 hours to do a 3-minute long video. And I do longer ones. Imagine the drone videos that are even longer than that, like the Battleship New Jersey or the SS United States. We spent 10 hours at the SS United States to do their video. So gives you a good idea of how long it takes to do certain kind of drone videos. Like the Battleship New Jersey was, getting permission from the FAA to fly in that area, getting in the right position, being there in time, having someone with me to help make sure we're not going to hit anything. There's a lot of stuff that goes into making these videos that just not many people talk about. They just see the drone video and go, oh, that's pretty cool, I could do that. Okay, you have to have the insurance for $2.5 million. You have to have the certificate. You have to keep up with the FAA guidelines and read the no-mans, which are technically now notice to airmen, but now it's notice to, I forget, they just changed it like back in March. So there's a lot of stuff that goes into it, but hopefully you find this video very interesting. And I thank you for joining me. If you haven't done so yet, please subscribe, turn on notifications, and give this video a thumbs up. I'll see you guys later. Bye.